Hey guys, welcome back to the Pausing Porn podcast. I'm Mark, and today we're going to tackle one of the biggest questions in porn recovery: to masturbate or not? You guys have likely already seen the contradicting opinions amongst people in online porn addiction recovery communities. Some people say masturbation is just as bad as porn and should be considered as a relapse, while others say it's harmless or even healthy. There's no clear answer out there that you can take home with you, and it leaves a lot of us wondering if it's okay to masturbate. By the end of this episode, my goal is not to give you a yes or no answer. Instead, I want to give you the tools, knowledge, and perspective so you can make an informed decision that actually serves your unique recovery and your life. Let's start with the argument against masturbation. There's a view that some people take where masturbation is relapse. I remember reading a popular, but yet a controversial post on the NoFap Reddit community, which ends off with hand on the cock, reset the clock. That actually cracks me up. The reason for that message is that masturbation can come with its consequences. For some guys, it looks like compulsive use. Just as the relationship with porn became compulsive, so did the relationship with masturbation, where they don't even feel in control anymore. For others, it's a form of escape. They use it as a way to avoid stress, boredom, or loneliness. Then there's also potential physical and emotional costs, right? There's energy depletion, potential mood swings, or even some people have unhealthy masturbation habits that can lead to physical harm over time. And then there's subtler consequences: reinforcing old porn pathways through fantasy, or losing hours you can't get back, or maybe even wrestling with guilt if it clashes with your religious or moral values. These are some of the reasons why people argue you should abstain completely, not only from porn, but from masturbation as well. The belief is that abstinence builds discipline, it rewires the brain faster, and even unlocks so-called superpowers of what people call them, things like increased energy, confidence, and attraction. There are pros to this stance, like having that strict line in the dirt gives you structure and a clear line you can measure yourself against. You always know exactly where the boundary is and whether or not you've crossed it. Now, on the other hand, there's many potential benefits to masturbation when it's done in a healthy and mindful way. And I also want to remind you right away, masturbation in itself is a normal human behavior. People have been doing it for thousands of years. And sure, it wasn't always accepted. Looking back to the 19th century, people would spread wild myths about it, saying that it caused insanity. And these beliefs, they created a lot of shame with it, which still lingers around today. But the truth is, the act of masturbation on its own is not harmful. These were just cultural fears that were spread that weren't even based on science. Science today points to benefits like reducing stress, improving sleep, improving your mood, and some research even suggests that it lowers the risk of prostate cancer. Now, for guys healing from porn-induced erectile dysfunction, or PIED, it can be a great way to reconnect with your body and retrain arousal pathways. But here's the important part. Just like the risks, the benefits depend on context. The key isn't whether masturbation happens or not, it's how it's happening and why you're doing it. Now that we've looked at both sides, the risks on one hand and the potential benefits on the other, as you can see, it's not as simple as saying masturbation is bad or masturbation is good. The real difference lies in the way it's practiced. Is it compulsive, fantasy driven, and used to escape? Or is it intentional, mindful, and connected? What really matters is if masturbation is serving your recovery or if it's holding you back. Let's talk about what healthy masturbation might actually look like in the context of your recovery. So, first, it's intentional, not compulsive. What I mean by this is that you should feel like you're the one choosing to do it, not like it's choosing you. If you're restless, stressed, and feel like you have to do it, then that's a red flag. Healthy masturbation is when you decide when you want to do it and you feel in control of that choice. Second, it's present and not fantasy driven. A lot of guys will cut out porn, but then they'll replay old porn scenes or porn induced fantasies in their head while they're masturbating. That's not really breaking free though. That's porn with your eyes closed. Healthy masturbation is about connecting with yourself in the moment, focusing on your body, your breath, sensations, and not escaping through a mental movie. Third, it's emotionally aware and not used to escape. So, this is a big one, guys. If you're using masturbation to avoid loneliness, sadness, stress, you're not solving these emotions. You're just covering them for a few minutes. Healthy masturbation looks like checking in with yourself before and after to understand your real intentions. Fourth, it's balanced and not excessive. So there's no magic number to the frequency of how often you should or shouldn't be doing it. But the question is simple. Does it support your recovery and the life you're looking to build? Or does it go against it? Are you masturbating 5 times a day and spending hours of your time doing it? Is masturbation leaving you drained, ashamed, or taking away from the goals that you have? If so, then it's probably not balanced. But if it fits into your recovery and into your life without pulling you off track, then that's a different story. Fifth, it's body respecting and not harmful. There are a few ways guys masturbate that can really cause physical harm. One is called the death grip syndrome, where they masturbate with intensely tight grip and it trains their body to only respond to one kind of intense pressure and also can lead to long-term injury. And there's another way called prone masturbation. This is also responsible for desensitization over long periods of time. Healthy masturbation means slowing down and respecting your body. It doesn't mean hurting yourself to get the fastest release, and it also doesn't mean edging and prolonging it for hours on end. And finally, you'll want to make sure that it's aligned with your values. So for some of you guys listening, masturbation might not line up with your religious beliefs or your personal vision for sexuality. And if that's the case, then abstinence might be the healthier choice for you. Healthy masturbation is about making a choice that feels aligned with who you are and who you're becoming. If you guys are like me and grew up with porn from a young age, then you were probably introduced to masturbation through porn before you even understood what sexuality was. That was my story. The very first time I masturbated, it was with porn. And from that point forward, I never separated the two. Because of that, I always saw masturbation as something that's harmful. In my mind, masturbation and porn were one and the same thing. So for years, I believed masturbation had no place in recovery. But something shifted when I asked my former CSAT if masturbation could ever fit into my recovery. And his answer changed things. He told me to think of it like a science experiment. That reframe was very powerful. So instead of stressing on whether it was good or bad, I could treat it like a science experiment. If I tried it and found that it helped me connect with myself and added intention, then it could serve me. But if it pulled me back towards porn, or became compulsive or fueled porn fantasies, then maybe I wasn't ready for it. And that's the amazing thing in treating things like science experiments. I never experienced masturbation without pornography. So how would I know, or how would my CSAT know, if it could play a role in my recovery? We both don't know. So the point is moving forward with curiosity, being aware, and you can introduce it and then evaluate from there. And that is what I did. I experimented. And honestly, the first time I masturbated without pornography was awkward. But I stuck with it. And I realized I could actually do it in a healthy way, in a way that I enjoyed, in a way where I wasn't just chasing release, but I was paying attention, I slowed down, and I reconnected with myself and my body. I'm not going to pretend that it was smooth sailing. There were definitely times when porn fantasies snuck back in, or when I started feeling compulsive again with the use of masturbation, and I started feeling it was something I needed to do rather than something I chose to do. I will never lie to you guys saying that I had the perfect journey or the perfect recovery, because I haven't. But when that happened and I identified the red flags that were coming up, I took a step back and a break from it, addressed the underlying reasons for why these red flags were coming up, and later reintroduced it when I felt more grounded. That's why I don't see masturbation as black and white anymore. Yes, it has its risks, 100%, but it can also be a tool for healing. For me, mindful masturbation became a way to slowly rewrite unhealthy patterns porn had carved into my sexuality. It helped me practice being present and reconnect with myself in a way that porn never allowed me to. So for my recovery, the benefits outweighed the risks. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a tool that you can actually use in your recovery. I'm actually very proud of this tool and excited for it. It's called the Sexual Hunger Scale. This is based off a hunger chart used for eating disorders for people to identify when to eat and when to stop. You can think of it like a check-in system. It's a way to tell the difference between real sexual desire and just using masturbation as an escape. Here's how it works. I want you to draw out a scale from 1 to 10. At the bottom of the scale, from 1 to 3, this is the emotional escape zone. It's when you're not actually horny, you're just restless, lonely, anxious, maybe feeling ashamed. Your chest feels tight, your mind is racing, but your brain is telling you that you want to masturbate. And guys, I've been in that zone countless times. It is very difficult at times to be able to tell what is real desire and what is your brain looking to escape. But the truth is, in this zone here, this is not real desire. This is escape. In this zone, the best move isn't to push forward, it's to pause and ask yourself, what am I really trying to get away from right now? And once you name it, maybe it's stress, boredom, or loneliness, you can do something that addresses that firsthand. Because in this zone, you're not feeding your sexuality. You're just trying to run from these emotions. And learning to sit with those emotions instead of escaping from them is a huge part of real recovery. Now we have the middle of the scale. This is number 4 to 6. This is the mixed or unclear zone. You may feel some stirrings of arousal, maybe a bit of warmth in your body, but it's inconsistent. And at the same time, there could be background stress or boredom or discomfort going on. See, this is the gray area. The best response here is to pause as well, check your intention. So you can take a few deep breaths and maybe do a quick journal check-in. If you can center yourself and shift into connection, then maybe it's okay to proceed. But if not, and you start identifying that it's starting to feel like it's part of the emotional escape zone, then it's time to take a step back, learn what it is that you're looking to escape from, and deal with that firsthand. And finally, numbers 7 to 10, this is the genuine desire zone. Here your body feels steady, warm, maybe you feel a full body arousal. You can check in with your breath. Your breath will be deeper and balanced. And emotionally, you could be feeling calm or curious. And you feel like that you would enjoy it, but it's rooted from a deeper grounded place and not compulsion. Then that's real sexual hunger. I want to remind you guys, because this is something I really struggled with, is having arousal and the want to orgasm and masturbate. There's nothing wrong with that. Or having the want to have sex, or right? Like you're trying to learn to trust your body. I want to remind you that you're a sexual being. It is completely normal and a good thing to feel genuine desire. And that is this point here in the zone 7 to 10. If you identify that you're in this zone and you choose to masturbate, then just approach it mindfully. Obviously, not watching porn and without any mental fantasies of porn or replaying old porn scenes. It can be a very healthy choice. Here's the takeaway. Before you act, Always check in with yourself and see where are you on the scale. Are you escaping? Are you unclear in the gray zone? Or are you experiencing real desire? This little habit here can help you separate compulsive behavior from intentional sexuality and real desire. Okay, let's bring this all together. We've looked at the arguments against masturbation, the potential benefits, what healthy masturbation can actually look like, and even my own story. And we wrapped up with a sexual hunger scale. This is the simple tool that can help you check in and see if your desire is coming from a real connection or just a place of escape. At the end of the day, there's no one size fits all answer here. The real question is whether your choices are serving your recovery and helping you build the kind of life that you want, or whether they're holding you back. So this week, I encourage you guys to understand what you want for yourself going forward. Ask yourself if you see masturbation aligning with the person you're looking to become. If today's episode gave you some clarity, please share it with a friend who might need to hear this as well. And if you've been enjoying the podcast so far, leaving a review helps more guys find this show. Plus, I always love to see your feedback. So thanks for spending this time with me today on the Pausing Porn podcast, and I'll see you guys in the next one.